Are actually called our areas of awareness, and there are 8 areas of awareness, and they represent the 8 mental functions within our psychological type. So you can see a list of these at the bottom of this slide under extroverted and introverted for each of the 4 different functions, meaning sensing, intuition, thinking, and feeling. And getting in touch with each of these 8 aspects of our mental operations is really a major step to our self-awareness and also getting more of an interpersonal awareness. And this is what's going to enrich our emotional intelligence. It's going to tell us how we interact with others. And it's also going to introduce to us how we are going to manipulate and use information. Now remember, we tend to rely mostly on our dominant function and then our auxiliary function. These are our most preferred functions. So as we move forward, remember that. And we're going to look first at our extroverted function. Remember again that this is really just a practical way to see how our functions are used in everyday life. But if you overuse one of these functions or you underuse or fail to use them, you're going to see that there are great consequences within our external behavior. Starting first with that extroverted sensing type. Generally, this type is going to first focus on details and be very present-oriented. They want to pay attention to the moment and take in as much information as they can through all of their senses. However, if it's overused, people tend to look very impulsive. And if it's underused, they look like they're unaware, like they don't really know what's going on. Moving on to extraverted intuition. In a very balanced way, they're going to focus on ideas, their abstractions, and they like to make links and connections between things. However, if it's overused, they have too many ideas, and that means that there's no action at all. However, if it's underused, they're not very visionary, and they're not going to be very strategic either. Looking at our extraverted thinking, this is where people in that balanced state are going to use logic, critique, and questioning. However, again, if it's overused, they tend to be very impersonal, be cold, as if they don't really care about anything. However, on that other side where it's not used enough or it's underused, they're going to be indecisive and maybe even irrational. Our extraverted feeling is going to respond empathetically and focuses on people when it's in a balanced state. When it's overused, it's going to be too personal, too probing, and almost as if they're intruding on other people. But if it's underused, they're disinterested and they don't really show any respect for others at all. This is our type chart. It is going to show us the type dynamics within each personality type. So even if you have an introverted personality type, you're going to see that your functions will also have an extroverted function. It may not be your dominant function, but it will be there. You are going to have one. And your extroverted function is what people are going to see. Your introverted function is what people are not going to see. So even if you are an extroverted personality type, you will have that introverted function. So now look this over a little bit, and then you can go back through the slides and see exactly what your functions look like in an overused and underused state.